Hello, lovely ladies and gents. Thank you so much for joining me again for this yoga flow. Today I'm going to do a yoga flow that's going to focus on hip mobility. Our hips are the foundation for our entire being. They hold us up, they keep us grounded. They really are our center of gravity. So let's take about 20 minutes out of our day today and just do something really kind for our hips. Get them moving, get them flowing. Let's meet in a comfortable seated position on our mat. Arrive in this present moment, take a few deep breaths, and let's flow. So let's start this practice on our backs. Shimmy on down. Let's keep our knees bent and our feet planted here so our backs can be flush against the ground. Slowly making our way down. First and foremost, let's bring our knees right into our chest and give yourself a big hug. Here you might start to notice if you're feeling a little bit tight in the hips. Deep breaths. Let's unwind our knees, extend our feet all the way to the sky. High echo. And slowly lowering our feet back to the ground, knees bent. We're going to take our right foot first, cross it over our left knee. So it's like you're making the number 4 with your legs here. We're going to lift that left foot off the ground. Bring that left thigh closer and closer to your torso. Maybe hands can come through your leg here, that little hole in your leg, and grab around the back of your left knee. Maybe hands want to secure around the front of your left knee. Do what feels right for you today. The closer that your legs come in towards your chest, the more of a stretch you're going to feel here. So always remember, any pinching or tingling means we might be pushing it a little too much today. Always listen to your body. It will tell you what feels right. Let's make sure that our feet are active here. Maybe they're flexed, maybe you're giving your ankles a little roll. You'll notice that flexing your right foot might really affect how the stretch is feeling in your hips. One more deep breath here. So good. And slowly unwinding, bringing that left foot all the way back to the ground. And before we take our right foot off our left knee, let's drop the left thigh all the way to the ground. So right foot is now crossing over, coming all the way over. Right foot is going to land on the left side of you. We're experiencing a little twist in our hips here. Arms can come out to the side like a T. Maybe your neck wants to roll over to the right side. Maybe that's too much today. As you're ready, we're going to rotate our hips all the way back through center and all the way down to your left side now. So right thigh is going to fall to the earth. Maybe a little brick or blankie underneath to support, to bring the earth closer to you. That might feel really good. Left knee's probably not going to drop all the way to the ground here. It's going to be hovering, being held up, being supported a little bit by your right foot, which is still resting on that left knee. Amazing. Bring it all the way back through center. You're going to unwind that right leg, drop the foot to the ground. Take a moment to feel the curves of your spine readjusting on the ground. And then we're going to move on to the left side. So left foot now crosses over our right knee. Making number 4. Right leg is going to hover off the ground. Coming closer and closer to your torso. Hands, left hand's coming through that hole in your legs. Maybe latching around the back of that right knee. Maybe latching around the front of it. Both feet are flexed here. Notice how this side might feel so different from our right side. One more big deep breath here. Maybe pulling your legs a little bit closer to your torso for that final moment. And as you're ready, we're going to release our hands. Drop that right foot back to the ground. Coming back to neutral. Arms come out to the side. And we're going to rotate our hips now towards the right. So left foot is coming to the ground. Right thigh is dropping to the earth. And as you're ready, coming all the way back up, rotating your hips through center, all the way to the left side now. Left thigh is going to drop to the earth. Right knee might be hovering here, supported by that left foot. And always remember that we're being guided by our breath. Feeling so good. All right, rotating our hips back up through center, unwinding that left leg, dropping both feet to the floor now, adjusting that lower spine. We're going to do a few windshield wiper motions back and forth with our legs here, getting our hips warmed up, getting that fluid motion going with our hips. Maybe you want to drop them to one side and stay there for a little while. On your next exhale, allow your breath to send your knees back to center, back to a neutral position. We're going to widen our feet just to the edges of our mat, making sure we're lying in the center. So feet are wide, our knees are going to come in together to rest against one another. And we'll experience a nice internal rotation of our hips here. So good. One more deep breath here. And releasing back to neutral when you're ready. We're going to roll over onto our favorite side. Not coming all the way up. We're actually going to roll onto our tummy. So hands can come in front of you, making a little pillow. We're going to send our right foot up. We're going to grab it with that right hand. We're going to focus right now on keeping our whole body very straight, almost like we're in a plank position. Everything wants to be aligned. Your head is over your heart, is over your pelvis, and we're really going to push through our hips, kind of push our hips into the earth here, and you'll really feel that stretch. If you have any tightness in the front of your thigh, this is really, this might be a lot for you. And just remember to go easy on your body and listen to your body today. But if you are tight in these areas, it might feel like a really nice stretch. So forehead can rest on that left hand. We're squeezing our right foot in with our right hand. Hips are pressing into the earth. Deep breaths here. Might be in your practice today to also swing your left hand back. Use both hands to hold that right foot. Forehead staying on the ground. This one doesn't look like much, but it can be so intense. Such a good stretch. All right, and when we're ready, we're gonna release our hands, release that right foot, coming back down to lying on your tummy position. Our right hand now is gonna come to the front, left foot bends up, grab that left foot with that left hand, same thing, send those hips into the ground. Using our breath to really anchor our pelvis here and really root us. Forehead is down, maybe that right hand comes back to grab the left foot. If you experience any unevenness of your hips, if you have an anterior rotation or posterior rotation of your hips here, this is a really good stretch for you. And it will help to, with regular practice, align your hips back to a neutral position. So good. One more deep breath here. And exhale to release. Release that left foot. Release your hands back to the earth. Let's take one breath lying on our tummy with our forehead down. Awesome. Now, planting our hands at our sides, we're going to push up into a tabletop position. Maybe a few cat and cows here. Arching your spine on an inhale and contracting our spine on an exhale. And when you're feeling good, let's take our right foot and step it up right in between our hands. So left knee is on the ground, right foot is up in a low lunge. Let's try to keep our knee over our heel and come up with our torso. Hands can be at your heart, hands can be on your hips. Maybe hands are high in the air, whatever suits your practice today. And in this position, I can already feel it in my hips. We're gonna focus on keeping our pelvis nice and aligned on the same plane vertically and horizontally. So maybe that means for you pushing forward in that left thigh, pushing that left thigh forward, sending that right knee forward. Maybe you want to rock a bit here, back and forth with that right knee. And if this is too hard on your left knee today, being on the ground, it might be nice to have a little blanket underneath or a little cushion. If this is too much for your knee today altogether, if you have any knee injuries or pain, we can absolutely do this from a standing position as well. So pushing forward with those hips, keeping them aligned. Shoulders back, chest open, smile on your face. Awesome. Planting our hands back on the ground around that right foot. Let's tuck our left toes under. Come up into a standing forward folded triangle. So we're squeezing our right thigh back, we're squeezing our left thigh forward. Our neck is hanging heavy here. And be super generous about adjusting the placement of your feet to where it feels comfortable for your hips. Big deep breath here. Awesome. Planting our hands, feeling strong in those hands and supported. We're going to step back with our right foot into a downward facing dog. Maybe lifting and lowering those heels to walk your dog. Maybe coming down to your forearms is good for you today. One more deep breath here. And when you're ready, we're going to take our right knee, lower it to the ground. Strong in those hands, we're going to step forward with our left foot now to a low lunge on the left side. Coming up with your upper body, finding what feels good for your hands today. And we're going to press forward with those hips again, really focusing on pressing that right hip forward. Maybe getting a little groovy, going back and forth here. So good. Perfect. Planting those hands back on the ground. We're going to come up with that right knee into a forward folded triangle now on the other side. Left thigh is squeezing back, right thigh is squeezing forward. Maybe adjust those feet. Neck is hanging heavy here. Whew. All right, hands are planted. Let's step back with our feet into another downward facing dog. Walking it out here. And as you're ready, let's walk our feet all the way up to our hands. Forward fold. Maybe you want to grab your elbows with your opposite hand. Hang a little here. Have a generous bend in your knees. And slowly, slowly, very slowly come all the way up. Shoulders roll back and your neck and your head are the very last thing to come all the way to standing. From here, let's just sit right back. Sit right down, lie all the way down on your back. Let's take our left foot. We're going to cross it over to the outside of our right knee. Maybe just right here feels really good for you. So I encourage you to stay right there if that is enough. Arms can come out to your side like a T. And we're going to slowly rotate in our hips to drop that left knee. Maybe it comes to the ground, maybe it's hovering. Feels really nice to put a brick underneath. Bring the earth up to that knee and support it for you. Our left shoulder here staying rooted in the earth. Try to keep it against the ground. If you're feeling good here, you can rotate your neck over to the left side and gaze at your left fingertips. Maybe that right hand wants to rest on your left thigh and just help guide it down to the ground. Just with some gentle pressure. One more deep breath here. Using an exhale to come all the way back to center. Unwinding, taking your right foot now, crossing it over to the outside of our left knee. Right shoulder stays rooted in the earth here, nice and heavy. I'm going to slowly rotate to drop that right knee down. Maybe moving your brick under your right knee now to bring the earth up to you. Left hand can rest on that right thigh. Maybe your right ear wants to come down to the earth. Such a good stretch. I love that one. Come all the way back to center using an exhale, extending both feet out long. Let's take the bottom of our feet, bring them to touching, so knees come out to the opposite sides. Maybe your heels can scooch in closer to your bum. Maybe they stay further away, and that's fine. Play around here, figure out what feels comfortable. Let those knees fall. Again, we can support our knees here with some bricks right underneath. Hands might want to rest at your tummy. One more breath here, and only as you're ready, we're going to slowly release the bottoms of our feet from each other. Knees bent, feet touching the floor. And one more time, we're going to lift our feet, bring our knees all the way into our chest for a big hug. And just notice if you're feeling any different than at the beginning of this flow. I always like to rock back and forth here and give yourself a little back massage. And if you're feeling good rolling around here, by all means, please keep going. I'm going to come back into a seated position. I hope everyone moves forward with their day feeling strong and grounded in our foundations. Always remembering to be kind, make kind choices, whether that be the food we eat, how we're treating ourselves, how we're treating others. You're all doing absolutely amazing. I love you. I'm so grateful for you. Have a good day. Namaste.